Hello and welcome to Room for Dessert. I'm Paige Counts, Public Information Officer for Caldwell County. Today my story is When Desserts Fail. That's how I created this masterpiece you're going to see today. Well, I hope it's a masterpiece. We'll see what happens. But this all started when I tried making some cookies. My sister posted a recipe on Facebook and she was like, please make these cookies for me. And you met her in our last episode. She was super excited about these cookies. I made them and they were a complete flop. But I still needed a dessert to take to a family reunion. So this is what we created. So I'm calling it a strawberry cookie cheesecake. And really it's 3 individual recipes that we just happened to put together. So I'm going to get started, and the first thing I'm going to make is strawberry syrup. And in this little cup, I have a half a cup of sugar and a tablespoon of cornstarch. And that's already been mixed together. And to that, we're going to add a 1/4 cup of water. We're just going to stir that and get all that kind of mixed together because you don't want the sugar melting in the bottom. Then I'm going to turn on the eye on medium high, and we're going to add 2 cups of strawberries. And you're going to be like, that's way more, a little more than 2 cups, but that's what I had with strawberries. So our goal here is to make a syrup, and this syrup will work well when you're doing, you can do it with blueberries, raspberries. I probably would add more sugar to it. You could do blackberries. And it's a syrup you can put over pancakes or on top of cheesecakes or a whole lot of stuff. And apparently I have some that's burnt on my eye, so we're just going to ignore that right now. But we want to bring that to a boil, and I'm trying to get all of the strawberries coated with the water, sugar, cornstarch mixture. Because what we want to do is just bring that to a boil until it becomes slightly thick. So, and here's a fun fact. Keegan is not a fan of strawberries.
Unfortunately not. But
so,
hey, why not?
You know, he is not super excited about this recipe, but he's here.
I'm here. We're making it happen.
But
you said you had a snafu. What snafu did you have?
Oh, what snafu? Oh, the cookies turned out terrible. They're supposed to look like these perfect little discs. Well, mine looked like flat, ugly pancakes that just spread across the entire pan.
Oh no, lumpy space princess cookies.
And then we were like, oh, we'll crumble them up and put something on top of them. We crumbled them up, and because they're strawberry white chocolate cookies, it kind of looked like hamburger meat.
Ew.
Raw hamburger meat.
Yikes.
And it just kept getting worse and worse. So we bounced around a lot of ideas. We were like, oh, my mom makes this oatmeal cakes. Think Little Debbie cake, but homemade. Very delicious. My sister goes, put that filling on top of the cookies. And we take a bite of cookie and we'd be like, too sweet. So we bounced around a lot of ideas and finally came up with cheesecake because it's not quite as sweet. So that's how that happened. Now today I'm going to make the same cookies because we're going to crumble them and put them in the bottom of a pan. And they may turn out okay. I don't know. I think the problem was I didn't pay attention and I got in a hurry. So if you pay close attention and follow all of the steps and don't get in too much of a hurry, cookies will probably turn out just fine for you. The other thing I realized when I was preparing for today's show, I didn't put the cookies on parchment paper, which the recipe suggests. And as I was scraping the cookies off the pan, I realized parchment paper probably would have been a good idea. Because I want the cookies to fail today, because I really don't care what they look like, I'm not going to put parchment paper under them anyway. Plus, I don't think I have any, so there you go.
And all the uninitiated, what is parchment paper?
Parchment paper, it's used a lot in baking, and it helps keep food from sticking to your container. It makes it really easy for food to come up off of the
surface.
Yeah,
Okay.
there you go. So you can't even think of the words. We're getting into science here, and I really don't know the answers. So
I'm sure it's just like the tracing paper kind of looking thing.
It
'cause
kind of
kinda
is like
looks
tracing
see-through.
paper. Sometimes you'll see it wherever they sell aluminum foil and plastic wrap and all those kinds of lovely things. A lot of times you'll use it in candy making.
Awesome. I like candy. Can't go
I like
wrong.
candy too, and here's a little tease. Closer to Christmas, I'm going to try making some candy.
Oh snap! You're gonna make like the chocolate mold ones? Is that what you're gonna do?
I probably won't do chocolate mold because if you haven't learned anything from watching me, I'm not really good at decorating. So my candy probably won't be pretty. Hopefully it'll be tasty, but it won't be pretty. A family favorite is peanut butter pinwheel, so that will probably happen.
Oh snap! Anything with peanut butter, I'm sold.
And peppermint patties.
Awesome.
So that's probably two of the things I'll make. But I might learn some new recipes between now and then. You know, if I would venture to our public library and check out a cookbook, I could probably learn a whole lot. So that's another place to get good ideas.
Amazing plug. Amazing plug.
Amazing, there you go.
Seamless.
Seamless, and you know, you don't have to wait for your own desserts to fail.
So what kind of consistency are we looking at here?
We are, right now it still needs to cook a little more. It's pretty runny because it hasn't really started boiling just yet. And I will say, normally when I'm doing this, I would be doing something else at this point, but because we're filming today and we're trying to, you know, look a little bit like we know what's going on, I'm not trying to do 3 things at a time.
Well, that's always the positive page. Just try to look like you got something going on.
Look like I got something going on. Actually, I would normally be digging in the cabinets for whatever's next. But in prepping for the show, I've already done all that.
She's on it.
I'm on, well, we think I'm on it. We think I have everything out.
Now, I do see Sir Duncan over there. We got Mr. Hines. Is that what we're going to make him? We're making some Duncan Hines?
We're not exactly making Duncan Hines.
Okay.
We are using the strawberry cake mix as a base for our strawberry cookies.
Awesome.
Which makes you think, oh, these will be super easy. And then mine failed. But sometimes that happens. I will actually confess that I messed up on 2 of the desserts I fixed for my family reunion. And they both turned out to be happy accidents because they were both saved due to a little creativity.
You get the cooking recycling down.
Cooking,
I like it.
recycling. Yeah, I think it runs in my family that we don't want to take ugly food to events. I had a great aunt who used to throw things out whenever she didn't like how it looked.
Sacrilege.
It was sacrilege. My dad finally convinced her to just give it to us.
We'll take your dirty, sloppy seconds.
We'll take your sloppy food. It's delicious. We'll take it. It doesn't have to look pretty.
That's coming from a known dessert thief.
Yes, my dad is a known dessert thief. And don't sit your dessert down close to him. He will take it. If it's something he likes. Okay, we've got this boiling pretty good now. And you can tell it's starting to get thick. And again, this is something that if you want to put it over pancakes or waffles, it works well. And you may not, I'm going to puree this, but if you're going to put it over pancakes, waffles, or something like that, you may not want to puree it. You may just want to leave it like this. I would let it cool a bit, and it will thicken as it cools.
The people want to know, Paige, are you a waffle person or a pancake person?
I'm a waffle person.
Snap, that's the correct answer. I'm glad you said that.
I'm totally a waffle person, and before we moved back to Lenore, we were very active in our church with the young adults. And one of the things we would do is, if you feed people, they will come to see you. So that was one way we got young adults to come and participate. But I would often fix waffles. So my mom decided I needed not one but 2 waffle irons because no one needs cold waffles. So we could expedite the process.
That lady is a legend.
She's something else. All right. We're going to turn this off. Hopefully we're going to do this smoothly. All right, now we're going to puree our strawberries, and hopefully I'm not going to pour them everywhere. Oh, this would also work well on ice cream.
Nice.
Not steaming hot like it is right now, but once you let it cool, it would be a great ice cream topping. If you like strawberries. And it really doesn't take too long to get that pureed. And as you can see, it's still steaming hot.
Ooh.
Now I'd like to thank China Garden for their lovely soup containers.
Absolutely. A staple of Common
A staple. Keegan, does your mom save Cool Whip containers and other plastic containers?
Of course. It would not be a Matheson family if we did not save some sort of container.
Save the container.
My mama would save everything. She had a little bit of a hoarder problem because we lived through the Great Depression, but I mean, she would save everything. And I mean, I think my dad kind of inherited some of that, but I think he's grown up and he'll throw stuff away now.
Throw stuff away. And I'm going to go ahead and pop this in the refrigerator. We'll set that aside. We'll come back to that momentarily. Now that we have our syrup made, and we're going to use some in our cookies and some to top the final dessert. So that's how the syrup's going to be used. Now let's make our cookies. Again, this is where I failed. So if your cookies come out great, awesome, enjoy them. You don't have to go further and make the cheesecake part. That is entirely up to you. You start with strawberry cake mix. And you put the entire package of strawberry cake mix in there. Don't worry, I did not get a box that was already open. I opened it so I wouldn't be standing here trying to pull it apart while you watch me struggle with the simple things like opening packages. Cake mix. Oh, let's go ahead and preheat our oven too. Cake mix, 2 eggs. Butter, 1 stick of butter, which is half a cup. And this is softened. It's been sitting out for a couple hours now.
Now we're talking.
Now we're talking. I know. I mean, I'm going to put butter in it. Let's be honest. And we're going to add 1.5 tablespoons of strawberry syrup. So this is one place our strawberry syrup comes in. And this is some I made last night, so it's already been cooled. And you can see that it kind of looks like strawberry jelly once it's cold. And I'm going to go ahead and put almost 3 tablespoons in because this is one of those things, if a little's good, a lot's got to be better. Which I think this may be one reason my cookies failed. If you're going to put the syrup in, you may need to buy like real strawberry syrup and not make your own. But I thought this would be so much better. So, choice is yours. And then we need a half a teaspoon. Oh, we'll go ahead and put a half a teaspoon of baking powder, baking soda. What am I supposed to use? I don't know. It says baking soda. It says baking soda. I'm glad I'm right. And 3 tablespoons of lemon juice. Ooh. Then you're going to mix that until it's smooth. And I'm also, because I love strawberries, not like Keegan, love them, I'm going to add just a little bit of strawberry flavoring. And while that's mixing, I'm going to go ahead and prepare my cookie sheets. I'm really messing with Keegan now because I'm moving around.
Gotta keep you on his toes.
I'm keeping him on his toes now. And again, because I know I'm going to crumble these cookies up, I'm using my largest cookie scoop. If I were really trying to make the cookies look awesome, I probably would use something a little bit smaller than this. But I know I'm just going to crumble these things, so.
It's an experiment every time you turn on the KitchenAid.
It is an experiment every time I turn on the KitchenAid, and I'm grateful to have the KitchenAid. I actually inherited my first KitchenAid. My aunt was a fabulous baker, and she wore out several KitchenAid mixers. And let me say, I finished the one I inherited off. It was well worn out. The low gears didn't work, so you only had the high gears. And I wound up with cookie dough on the ceiling one day, and that's when it knew it was time for a new KitchenAid.
Is that where you got your affinity for baking, is your aunt? Or would you say it's your mother?
I would say it's a little bit of both. I remember going to my aunt's house as a child, and she baked wedding cakes, birthday cakes, but I mean, she was known for doing wedding cakes. And so we would eat cake icing. I know that's like horrifying to some people's ears, but, and I'm talking about the cake icing that's made with lard and sugar. And like, we would just walk in and be like, I want blue flowers today. And she'll be like, okay, here's your roses, run play. Or, here's the tub I have, which was always in a Cool Whip bowl.
Cool Whip. Nothing sounds more nutritious than lard.
Yes, and lard.
Steady diet of vegetables and lard.
Talking and cooking is harder than it looks.
I know all about that. But I don't really know about the cooking part. I can talk your ear off. I can't. I don't know if I can do the cooking part.
Yes, you can. I think sometimes it's just giving yourself permission to fail and saying, oh, I screwed that up. Can I fix it?
They look more like cookies now.
They do look like more like cookies. Yay! At least we didn't bake them before we realized there were no white chocolate chips in them. Oops. Oh, we'll put that in that cookie.
So would you say you prefer white chocolate over milk chocolate?
I guess it depends.
It's a whatever you wake up that day feeling.
Yeah, whatever I wake up that day feeling. I like milk chocolate and white chocolate better than dark chocolate. So I'm not the healthy chocolate person. Okay. We're going to bake those for about 12 minutes. And we still have a little bit more dough. I guess with cookies it's dough, with cake it's batter. So we still have a little more dough.
I love how you conveniently have a perfectly little size pan. That's just a little smaller than the last one.
I have a ton of cookie sheets, and sometimes I pick the right ones and sometimes I don't. So now with our cookies coming out of the oven, and I'm going to say, folks, these look way better than the first ones I baked. But we're going to set those aside and let them cool. We'll put our second pan of cookies in the oven. We'll let those cool while we make the cheesecake part of our strawberry cookie cheesecake. And all good cheesecakes start with cream cheese. Keegan, do you like cheesecake?
Oh, I love cheesecake. There's nothing to like about cheesecake. Especially the crust, I guess you would call it.
Oh, you like the graham cracker crust.
Oh, it's delicious.
Okay. We'll have to make an official cheesecake because this is the no-bake type of cheesecake. And probably this recipe is on every package of Philadelphia cream cheese that's out there.
Hey, if it's on every package, it must be
It
pretty
may
good.
not be on every package, but let's say it's on a lot of them. The key here is to have your cream cheese softened. And I read the other day that you really shouldn't leave your cream cheese out more than about an hour. So hey, I learned something new. But you want to get that softened, and the softer it is, the easier it will mix. So I'm going to go ahead and turn on the old mixer here. And one thing I've learned is when it's not soft enough, it starts sticking to the side of the mixing bowl. I mean, it's still going to stick some, but I'm going to try to scrape some of that off. And to that, we're going to go ahead, I'm going to go ahead and add the sour cream, and this is 1 cup of sour cream.
Sour cream?
Sour cream.
That's a unique ingredient.
You know, when you're desperate to find recipes to fix your mistakes, you'll try anything. Actually, I think a lot of desserts have sour cream, and a lot of cheesecakes have sour cream. And a lot of great dips start with cream cheese and sour cream. You're really waiting on this for the cream cheese to get broken down and blended and smooth, because the cream cheese can get kind of lumpy on you. Once you get that pretty well blended, then you're going to add 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract. And I hope I have 2 teaspoons here. Oh, I do. Just barely. And a 1/2 cup of sugar. And I'm gonna add the sugar slowly. Just, I think it blends a little bit better when you do that. And while that's mixing, because I don't really, it still looks a little bit lumpy to me, I am gonna go ahead and crumble up my cookies. Hopefully they're cool enough. I'm not, oh yeah.
Is that warm on the fingers?
It's actually not too warm. I mean, these have cooled enough that it's not too bad. Well, that I said that, and that was a little warm. And actually, this is one of those desserts that you can do a piece at a time. You don't necessarily have to make everything at one time. So I might make the cookies and the syrup one night and then do the topping the next night. Just depends on what you have time for. But you have to admit, this does look a little bit like hamburger meat. All right, now we've got that all crumbled up. We'll move this pan out of our way. And get this over here where I can work on it a little bit better. And this is probably not a dessert that you're gonna cut with a knife. It's probably one you're gonna spoon out. While that's ready to go, we are going to add the whipped topping, AKA Cool Whip. Once that is pretty well blended, we're going to take it out and dump it over. Gently pour. We won't say dump.
You want to use an aggressive word like dump.
We won't use an aggressive word like dump. Pour it over our cookies. goodness. Goodness, goodness. I realize my right-handedness is probably going to be in Keegan's way, and he's not going to be able to see what I'm doing.
I can see pretty well.
Okay, good. And you can tell I still didn't get that quite as smooth as I probably would have liked to have had it, but it'll taste okay. Oh, we have more cookies ready. Okay.
So it's almost like this is going to serve as the cheesecake part of the
This
cheesecake.
is the cheesecake part of the cheesecake.
I see, and the strawberry cookies are the base.
Are the base. So rather than having a graham cracker crust, you have a strawberry crust.
Amazing.
And then we try to clean out the bowl as best we can. That will have to be refrigerated for at least 4 hours, preferably overnight. So because I was prepared for this, we'll switch this out here.
Ta-da!
Ta-da! Here's the one that I fixed last night. And I told you we would come back to our strawberry syrup. So, just because it needs a little more strawberry flavor, you put this right on top, much like you would a cheesecake.
From my periphery, it sort of looks like you're putting sauce on some dough.
It is kind of like putting sauce on some dough. Yes. Yes. But so you don't think it's sauce on dough.
There's some beautiful strawberries in the foreground or the background.
I have some strawberries that we'll put on just so people, know that it's a strawberry dessert. So people more creative and more of a decorative eye than what I have may do something way prettier, but put some strawberries on it. Last time I actually put a strawberry on what would be every slice. I mean, this is a little sad little strawberry display, but there you go.
Oh, that's not sad.
And then you have your strawberry cookie cheesecake.
Very cool.
But I told Keegan he didn't have to taste this because he really doesn't like strawberries. But I'm going to try it.
Yeah.
I'm going to cut it and try it because, hey, there's nothing like dessert.
Absolutely. It's sweet and wonderful.
It's sweet and wonderful, and and then I'm probably going to take, I'm not probably, I know I'll take this. Our number one fan, Kathy Stafford, Eric's beautiful wife, she was sad because she didn't get raspberry cheesecake, so we are going to make sure Miss Kathy gets some of this. We may even give her the one in the refrigerator so that, oops, didn't quite get the crust on that piece, but that's okay because this is my piece. All right. All right, Keegan, you don't know what you're missing here.
I do not.
But we'll make something you like next time. Maybe.
Deal.
Maybe. Not bad. Light, fluffy, definitely strawberry.
No mistaking, the strawberry is there.
The strawberry is there. So, whether you like strawberries or not, always remember to leave room for dessert.